Okay. So if you need to mute it,
Yeah.
it's there. You just touch the screen and okay, you're okay.
Yeah.
Hi, Rick.
Hello.
How are you?
Well, a little confused, but I'm doing okay.
All right.
Yeah, I'm not sure how I missed last month's meeting, but I sure did.
Oh, it's okay.
So,
We'll get into what happened, but it was basically a planning meeting, and we were able to be productive. Still, it's no big deal.
okay, good.
Legally, all from an official standpoint, all we weren't able to do was approve the minutes for March. That's it. No big deal. We'll do that.
Okay.
Hopefully, people show up tonight. I have to go out and bring some stuff to my son out at NU tonight. He's getting ready to graduate.
Oh,
So both my kids are graduating from college this year.
oh,
Yeah,
that'll be a big change.
it will be.
Are they both planning on moving out and getting a job?
James is basically doing his graduate school. He's moving to New York, and he's going to Stella Adler School of Acting, which is a
Oh,
kind of a big deal, actually. Not too many people get accepted there. And then Daniel, he'll continue his master's at Buff State, but he'll start substitute teaching, during this,
okay.
during that. So, yeah. So, yeah, one would hope they have plans to go and get jobs.
Yeah, no, well, I doubt I've got one grandson who's in not California, in Florida. He went down and they couldn't pay him, but he's learning how to manage, basketball teams.
Oh,
And again, I really don't understand how he's able to get his tuition paid for, but he can't earn any money. And so again, I don't know how he worked out some deal, but he's enjoying it.
oh, good. Good for him.
Yes.
I sent an email with a PDF with a picture of the rough draft for the planting that Ben sent me later today.
Oh,
In fact, I should probably count those. But just so you know, I sent it maybe about 15 minutes ago.
oh, okay.
We may actually have enough on this list to cover this spring and this fall for planting.
Wow.
Yeah, be nice. Well, yeah, it's going to be a busy year. 4, 5, 6, 7, 11, 12, 13. Yeah, He's got 37 on the first page alone.
Wow, okay. I haven't seen any, well, I haven't been around that much looking, but I haven't seen any concentrated area where they're planting new trees. But there's a lot of trees, in my area, and going over, to these back of the cemetery where we put a lot of small trees. It might even be 4 years now, but those probably need to be checked.
Okay.
Because I think that they need to be, trimmed and so.
Yeah, mention that in new business.
Okay.
So there's Nick.
Hello, Nick.
Hey, Rich, Dan, good to see you.
Nick, how are you?
Not bad.
Palm tree behind you. Nice.
Hey. What can I tell you?
The weather's actually been kind of nice today, but it's been weird. Like yesterday and today, it's been an awful lot of time being sunny and raining at the same time.
That's what I heard.
Yesterday was probably the longest I've ever seen that happen here. I mean, it went on for a couple hours, and the sun, it was about 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. So
Right.
sun wasn't at an angle for a rainbow. So it was essentially, it was just enough to get wet if you were outside for like 10 minutes.
Right.
It was kind of annoying, actually.
Yeah. No, I was out today several times and saw a lot of bees, climbing and pollinating, pear flowers. So I was happy to see that, but again, it's still cold enough. I don't know how well they'll actually fruit.
Nick, I was telling Rich, I just sent an email, maybe about 6:40, and there's a PDF attached to it, which is a list that Ben got back to me today.
Right.
And we can talk about what number we want to hit. He has 70 trees on this list.
I'm sorry, he has how many, Dan?
70.
70?
Yeah.
And then we have to include the 50 that gentleman's donating, correct?
Right.
Wow. Okay.
Wow.
I mean, we can if we want to, sure. And that's just between Cadman. This is like mostly in the southeast again. It's between Cadman, Garrison, Oak Grove, Monroe, Columbia, and then a couple spotty ones over like South Cayuga, South Long, and Milton, because there were a couple requests on Milton.
Okay.
So, Ben said we figured we just knock that off, and then he added Hirschfield here, so there must be a request on Hirschfield as well. So yeah, he did us a big favor today and put that all together for us. Of course, he writes everything in Latin. So I can't,
So I
sort of
should tell you that I took 4 years of Latin in high school, should I?
Did you retain any of it?
Not a word.
Well, you could always say that, you know a little bit of tree Latin.
That's true.
Yes.
Yeah,
Dan, speaking of the donated trees, did you ever take a ride to see where possibly we could put them in parks or anything like that? Do we have targets for those?
oh, they're in.
Oh, they're in.
Yeah, they're in. We did. It was kind of last minute. We had to hustle because of the order and the timing. He wanted to put them in on the 24th, which he did. He had a big birthday party.
Oh, that's right.
And yeah, Ben, I ended up just kind of I forget. We looked at they're on South Long Park.
Okay.
And then at the eastern end of the Memory Trail, a lot of
Okay.
oh boy, what did they put in? The flowering shrub type thing. What was it? Oh, geez, I don't remember now. I'm drawing a blank. Magnolia.
Oh,
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that was his wife's choice, right?
Right. And then a bunch of oaks and sycamores, and then he put so between it was Island Park, South Long Park, and the Memory Trail.
Oh, great.
okay. A lot of big trees.
Yeah. And Ben had been kind of chomping at the bit to do a grove type planting on Island Park,
Nice.
where the old pool is.
Right.
And I'll bet there were like for some reason 18 is sticking in my mind, like 18 or 22. One 18 in Island and maybe 22 in South Long or something like that. So he did a diagonal grid in the island. And I haven't, I'm guilty of not going over there and looking at them. I was over that way today. I should have looked at it, but they're done. And
Great.
you remember how he said he wanted to, he wanted us to leave them a lot so they had work to do on Saturday.
Right.
Well, we Ben left him enough that, Ben, he called it just right. And Ian got back to him, said you were absolutely right about the amount of work that we had to do. So it worked out. Just he left him with stuff to roll into the holes and backfill, and they had plenty of work, so it all worked out.
Good.
Hi, Dave.
Hello, Dan. Sorry, I'm late to the dance.
I'm sorry, you were breaking up.
I was late to the dance. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Well, actually, a couple people are late to the dance. We may not end up with a quorum here, and that's okay. I suppose. Well, Nick and Rich, you both know Dave Sherman, right? Our new trustee.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Dave is taking us on as liaison, and I had I got a chance to talk to him briefly today, and kind of gave him the rundown of the committee in a nutshell, and it's going to be a good fit. So
Great.
So what, Dave? What usually happens per year? The tree board by Tree City USA standards is supposed to have at least 4 meetings a year. And so far we've already had 3. So we're not in bad shape there. So I don't get too worried until like October rolls around if we don't have the right amount,
Yeah.
the right amount of meetings with quorum. And then we just kind of cover it the next year. Now we would have had a quorum, but Matt Carson got called away for planning board. So, and he's an alternate. So that's unfortunate. And I believe Jim is still working the evening thing, doing what he's doing. Dave, one of the things, and since, we're not in a formal meeting here, so we can't make any official, decisions. But we have a member that, and I don't even know how to pronounce his name. Nick, did you know how to? I feel really ignorant not knowing this, but Jin or
Oh,
Ying?
Jinga,
Yeah,
Yeah.
Hugh.
Hugh,
Um,
yes, Jinga Hugh.
I think maybe we should reach out to him. I mean, I've emailed him and included him in all the emails, but I don't have his phone number.
Okay,
But he hasn't been to one meeting. And,
okay.
and we're coming up on a year now.
Yeah, Dan, if you don't mind, I could reach out to Jinga.
Okay.
Because he's on the beautification committee, and I've met him several times. He's been over the house numerous times. I know Marcia's got his phone number, so if you want me to, I'll reach out to him and just ask him his level of interest, if he's going to participate, or if he's decided to step down and just has not informed anyone.
Okay. It's always a possibility too that he just doesn't have the Zoom capability as well.
No, he's pretty tech savvy, so I don't think I don't think that's an issue with him. I'll give him a call either later tonight or tomorrow and see if I can't get a response out of him.
Okay. All right. Very good. Well, we can keep talking about moving along here with the spring planting. But until somebody else shows up, we can't approve minutes. So, and if somebody shows up, I'll just call it to order then, and we'll take care of business. Dave, did you get the email I just sent? It was like probably like 6:40 or 6:45.
No, I didn't double check that, so I.
Okay. Well, I was mainly asking them to make sure that I actually do have your village email.
Yeah.
I think I do, but it wasn't in my contacts, and Judy told me what it was. It's just your D Sherman and that @village, right? .williamsville.us or .newyork.us, right?
Right, yeah, exactly.
Okay. So you should.
I've been telling people that after running in the cave, trying to catch up on things, because
Oh yeah.
my previous employer terminated my email, so
Oh
I feel like the hint in the.
yeah, that's kind of like having your brain transplanted or something. That's wow.
But
You-
we'll figure it out.
Yeah, you had that email address for a long time.
Yeah, only 40 years.
Right. Well, in that email is a PDF of what Ben got back to me, and Nick or Rich, I don't know if you're able to look at that now or not.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to bring it up, Dan.
Okay, no big deal if you can. It's basically the south, like I said, like I was saying earlier, it's just like the southeast quadrant. There's 70 trees total. We don't have to go that heavy. Unless we cut out like Garrison or something like that, but we're gonna be on Oak Grove anyway.
Yeah, Dan, does Ben have any idea if his, if the nurseries have 70 trees in stock for us to purchase? Is there good inventory?
Yeah, actually there is. And he actually got a peek at the pricing guides, I guess, from a couple of different nurseries to get a good
Right.
idea. You know, their catalogs, and there seems to be enough stock.
Okay, and what about the budget? Do we have money to get 70?
We should. You know, Ben's kind of been watching that for us. Damn, sorry, I dropped a piece of paper. He's had his eye on that. I could if you don't mind, Dave, I could send Judy an email and just double check to see how much we actually do have. Because right, this is the second planting of the budget. Good, and that's a good point. So maybe that may drive how many we can do here too.
Okay,
And then obviously we can adjust the list as we always do. And then we'll probably have to, you know, just kind of do that through emails, because my goal was for us to have the bid list ready and out by Thursday. And we're right on schedule. It's usually, this is the week we usually get it in.
mhm,
We're actually a lot earlier than we were last year, so
right,
we're still in pretty good shape.
yeah. Dan, you mentioned a couple homeowner requests. Are we pretty much on top of that list?
Yeah, as far as I know, I don't get them anymore. Ben gets them.
Okay.
And now Dave will probably get them. You know, I don't know if there would have been all that many this year. People weren't really, you know, possibly weren't really thinking about that.
Right,
But where there were two on Milton and oh, maybe I missed that. I know there were definitely two on Milton. I thought there was
Yeah.
one somewhere else, but I'm not finding
okay.
that.
No, I was just curious if we're on top, so, yeah, if we can get the inventory and we got the budget, Ben likes planting trees, we might as well try to stick 70.
Yeah.
Okay. So Dave, if you don't mind, I'll touch base with Judy on that.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. All right, thank you. We did, Ben did find, and I don't know if he texted me it, but we researched, we started poking around on the small oak species. And there's a different one. Because remember, we talked about doing those on Oak Grove under wires.
Right,
And we were going to do them in those real narrow right of ways as well.
right,
But then decided to go with the tall ones because that particular spot near Garrison
mm-hmm,
on that northwest corner was you know, wide open sky.
right,
But there's he found one that actually one of the nurseries carries here. So because one of the issues with that, it was the Japanese evergreen oak. Do you remember that, Rich? Do you remember talking about that?
No, I don't.
Okay. Do you remember that, Nick, when we were talking about it's an
Yeah,
oak that grows like 40 feet max, believe it or not.
yeah.
Okay.
No, I wasn't at that meeting, Dan.
Okay, so it was, and this is like 6-7 years ago, probably. but we had maybe you remember the idea of putting the shorter oaks under wires on Oak Grove and Los Robles. We, Dave, we decided a while ago that it would only make sense if we planted oaks on Oak Grove. And, maybe not only oaks, but, make it, notable. And Los Robles, as I've learned, is the true pronunciation. And that means the oaks in Spanish, or the oak, or something like that. So we kind of missed that boat. That we finished that street off a while ago. But so we started poking around the idea of looking for shorter oak species, which are kind of rare. But Ben found another one today, and I cannot, for the life of me, cannot remember what it is. But it's always interesting when you send a landscape architect and to go go formulate a tree list. First of all, you get, like I said, you get it back in Latin.
Yeah.
And there's like all kinds of ideas all over this. You'll see it when you open that email.
I took years of Latin in high school. So
What's that, Dave? What's that, Dave? You were breaking up.
I took 2 years of Latin in high school, so I can probably.
Between you and Nick, you got 6.
Yeah.
Well, I took 3 years of Latin.
Wow.
We're getting up to double digits now. We're getting
We'll
close.
talk about Cicero,
Yeah,
not trees, huh?
yeah.
Oh,
Hey, Dan, I'll certainly defer to Ben's judgment, but I just Googled the Japanese oak and it said hardy in zones 7 and 8. So I'm sure that Ben knows what he's talking about.
yeah, I don't think that's not the one.
Okay,
I forget what this one's called, but I was really surprised when I started diving into oaks and how many species there actually are.
yeah.
And there may be more native species of oaks than anything else. So, just another point of business that we'd talked about before, and Nick, you was Eric O'Neill. I talked to him,
Right.
and I have looking at a couple different. You wanted to do a cherry tree, some type
Right.
of cherry tree, and oh God, not pink spire. I forget what it was, but the 2 that he was talking about weren't as readily available. I gave him, I sent him the Pruna Serralata. He's going to look up and see if he doesn't mind that one. There's actually room for 2 there, Ben says.
I
So
think
I'm
he's
gonna touch
right,
base
yeah.
with him on that, but he seems like a really reasonable guy.
Very reasonable, Dan.
And he was I said, well, if you don't decide on the ones that are available now and the one and you would like the other ones or one of the other ones, we could always do it in the fall. And he was perfectly fine with that. So
Good.
And understood that there's a better survivability rate in the fall anyway. So
Okay.
The oak grove trees still haven't come down and along the creek. Dave, I don't know if you're aware of that, but there were ash trees that died off that were on village property along the creek in the yards of Oak Grove.
Yeah.
And so we got a really good price from the company that we're using now to we piggybacked with on Amherst contract for removals and difficult prunings. And they're supposed to be doing this. I don't quite know what the holdup is, but you know, it's still early spring, so so that's, you know, that hasn't happened yet. And I'll stay on that. I just asked Ben about that today. He said he knew he'll touch base with them. So
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
I mean, other than that, it looks like nobody else is showing up, so I don't know why we should wait any
Hey,
longer.
hey, Dan,
Yeah,
what about the inoculation?
that's Ben and I talked about that too. We have to go and I'll take if you guys don't mind, or if anybody else wants to go with us, just take a ride around and take a look at that. He's got the list from 2019. And we basically just need to take a look at those trees. And it's probably, we're around 70 now. I mean, we've sent that bid out as late as July, which kind of gives us the cushion of next year's budget.
Oh, nice, right.
So it's not going to be that much. You know, last year I think was like, I'm say like $6,100, $5,900, something like that. And it'll probably be less this year. The one thing for new business, it just popped into my head, speaking of ash trees, there's that massive ash tree that we need to find out if it's ours. It's on SJ. When you're coming from Wegmans, you know, you're coming up to Evans, it's on the right and it's kind of tucked in the bushes there. And I don't know if that's ours or not. We need to find that out, because that tree it has more life in the sucker branches than it does in the rest of the tree. So if you're up that way, look, it's on the north side of SJ, just before Evans. And
Yeah. Yep.
and that may be our tree, because I think that if it's not, it's real close to the village line. Now, whether it's a private property or not, or whether it's Amherst or not, it could be Amherst. I'm not exactly sure. So I'm going to write that down right now, so I remember to ask Ben, because I would hate to have that become a liability. It's a big tree. Does anybody else have anything just for noteworthy sake?
Our Arbor Day, Dan, we're all set for that?
Yeah, here, let me check my text, because yeah, we have the saplings. So DPW will then pot them. Arbor Day, Earth Day is in conjunction with the first week of the farmer's market. And Dave, do you happen to know when that is? I keep forgetting.
I don't have that in front of me, but I know that, I think it's on the website.
Okay. It should be. So that, as far as I know, is in conjunction with that, unless environmental changed something. I don't know. I will make a note to ask Judy about that when I call about the budget. Okay, anything else?
I can't think of anything, Dan.
Okay. How did golf school go?
Hey,
That sounded
I'm
neat.
gonna- I'm gonna sign up for the senior tour.
Nice.
It's very productive.
Told you, anytime you need a good anytime you need a good tee shot, just text me and I'll call.
Keep the morning of May 20th open. I'm
Oh,
playing in
okay.
a grudge match. I'm gonna need it.
All right, we'll test it.
All right.
I don't know for you guys, Rich and Dave, if you don't know, there was a time there when I called Nick like 3 times in a row and he was on the golf course. And each time he finished up the call, he either, did you almost get a hole in one the one time?
Yeah, I came pretty damn close. That's the closest I came that in my life, I think, Dan, on that one. Yeah,
Oh, that's funny.
that was pretty funny. You're right.
All right, well, yeah, if nobody else has anything, we'll wrap up and, we'll just, continue on. I will, and if you could, and, Yinga, that's how you say it? If you could-
Jinga, yeah,
Jinga.
I'll get his number in a few minutes from Marcia and I'll reach out to him.
Okay,
Okay?
are you good with everything, Rich?
Yes, I am.
Okay,
Again, I haven't been out with this crazy weather.
yeah. Yeah, I try and avoid it ever since our April surprise snowstorm. Do you want to go out with us to look at the ash trees when the time comes?
I'd be willing to go. Yeah.
Okay, all right. I'll keep you posted. I'll be talking to Ben in the next couple days anyway about this list, so get a better feel for where we should do that, because we really
Yeah.
should. Now's the time to do it, right? I mean,
Right.
things are just budding out, and you can tell if there's dieback or not. So
Right. Hey, Dan?
yeah,
I'll be back a week from today, actually. So if you don't get to looking at the ash trees this week, let me know if you're going next week and I'd be happy
Oh.
to join you.
okay, yeah. After next week, any volunteer work during the day will be, or will have to be on the weekends for me, because I start the new job on Monday.
Oh, do you?
Yeah,
Oh, good for you.
it's kind of a secret in a way. It's not government work, so thank God I'm that's not the case, but because you can't get in government secrets and you've been a spy. But it's it has to do with the movie set stuff.
Right.
And, I'm gonna be a busy boy.
Good for you.
60-hour weeks, so I'm gonna be reminded of my age and real quick. Oh. All right, well, I will I'll keep you guys posted, and I'll talk to you soon.
Okay, fine. Dan.
Very
Thanks.
good.
Thanks, Rich. We'll see you soon.
All right, thank you, Rich.
Okay, thanks,
Thanks,
Dave.
Nick.
Have a nice evening.
Thank you, Dave.
Okay.